Hey folks, this is MaddMikey and you're watching Maddhaus TV. Welcome back. And for those of you who are brand new viewers, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell and we'll make sure you get notified of any content that we've got coming up here. We've got a lot of content coming up in the future of this game right here. That way. Watch my fingers. There we go. Flight Simulator 2020 is actually the latest of the series of flight simulator games that started in 1982. Yes, 82, when it was merely lines on a screen. It was still really cool, and as years went on, it got better and better. It is incredible. It's realistic. You can go anywhere in the world now, literally anywhere in the world now. And we're going to go one place that's not too far away. It's east of where I'm at now in Wisconsin, and it is Sandy Lake, Pennsylvania. And that's what we're going to check out and see if we can see the house that I grew up in. So we're going to check that out, and hope you enjoy it. So stand by. All right, now we're in that game. Take a look at this map. This is amazing. We'll scroll around this thing. Here's Alaska, there's Russia. We've got all South or Asia, Southwest Asia, everywhere, even Antarctica. Any place you can land a plane or there's an airport or some type of point of interest, we've got it. And the weather, look at that weather. Now, currently, if I set it over here, I can set it for live weather, which it is right now, and it's clear skies in Pennsylvania. That's a good thing. Live traffic. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have it preset right now. I can go to live weather, which is going to give us partial clouds. Sure, we'll give that a shot. I have live traffic, which basically is traffic that you can get directly from ATC and the air traffic controllers. And then we have live players and all players. I've got to kind of group on so I don't have to worry about those guys going into it and doing what I need to do. But I've picked as my plane a Textron Aviation Cessna 152. There's been like 40,000 of these made in the last how many years? I mean, there's tons of them. It's a very popular plane, very forgiving. So let's see. We've got that. We've got Greenville Muni put in. I've even got the approach plate for Greenville on there, so I know which way the runways go and where the taxis are, everything else. But we're going to start off directly on the runway, ready to take off. That'll save some time here. So let's do this. Yep. Get out of you. Get out of you. There we go. Fly. It will start on the runway, and it will start with the engines running. So I'm cheating and using the easy way. I did this earlier today and actually did see where I lived, and I'm hoping that I can do that again and replicate that on video. So no, it's raining. Oh no. All right, we're gonna pause. We're changing this. I'm not using live weather. I want you guys to be able to see stuff. The weather is crappy right now. All right, pause. And the good part is, can I do controls? I believe I can. Now, let's start again. Let us restart. Now, let us go to, stop, main menu. We're going to do this all again. So this will give you an idea of some of the things you can do. Wow, when this thing loads up, it makes my camera wiggle, and it's amazing. All right, world map. Let's go to presets, clear skies. What a great idea. All right, now we're going to get into it. Back to that, and we need to pick where. Greenville Municipal, Greenville, Pennsylvania. We've got the departure already set up as 3-3, which is awesome. Fly. There we go. Now, taking off at 3-3, I'm going to have to actually make a bang-a-Yui and go 180 degrees, and we will pick up a reservoir that comes right next to, not probably 3-4 miles away from my house, and or from whoever lives there now, not us. All right, there it is, Greenville Municipal Airport, and Western Pennsylvania's pretty greeneridge. Is that a word, greeneridge? I don't know. All right. There we are. Engine's running. We got everything going. There's Ford Gulf 1, which is the airport itself. I've got GPS tracking on. Let's try the Isoline map. There we go. Pardon me. So let's see what happens here. I have an outside view. Hopefully when I rev this thing up, I've got it modified to the point where you can actually hear me while I'm talking, because we'll be spending a lot of time behind the aircraft looking at ground to be able to do some sightseeing. If I don't want that, I could actually be in the aircraft and kind of peeking around where I need to go left and right for the aircraft itself. Let's get back to usual view. All right. So let's disconnect our parking brakes here. There we go. And we'll start giving it gas. There we go. I got my feet on the pedals to keep us going down the middle of the runway like this. There we go. Must have a little crosswind going here because I have to keep putting left pedal in. All right. Upsy daisy. And we are off. There we go. All right. I'm going to kind of give us an outside view here. There we are. I'm heading basically north. We'll get some altitude here, and then we will... Oops, I need to get my flaps up. There we go. All right. I don't know why it started with 1 notch of flaps. Maybe that's the standard. I don't know that much about the 152 yet. All right, first thing we need to do... Yep, I did that. F5, all right. And let's... keep it on a rise here. We're going to make a 180 turn. As you can see, there's the airport.
Youngstown approach Cessna White Delta Mike Kilo Yankee is type Cessna 152.
And I don't even have to work the radios. My compadre, who you can't see, is with me. The ghost co-pilot. Alright, we're going to back it off a little bit. And then we're going to trim it down a little bit. 467 Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee. And I need to trim it a little bit. There we go. We got flight following with Youngstown approach.
Copy Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee.
Trying to trim the aircraft where it's level, and I don't have to fight it all the time. That might work. Let's see, maybe one more down on the trim. I'm going to take my foot off the pedals for a little while. There we go, we're looking. So what I need to do is head east, not directly east, but southeast. And we'll head towards what I know is what they call Lake Wilhelm, which is a reservoir just north of the town I grew up in. So, matter of fact, we used to go there fishing and as kids ride our bikes up there and check out what's going on. So I think that should be right about where I need to go. Let's see how we're doing. We're still climbing. We're almost 3,600 feet and climbing. Let's drop it down just a little more. There we go. That should level us off somewhat. What I want to do is get this bottom portion here, this vertical speed indicator, the VSI, to be right at 0. That means I'm going straight ahead without going down or without going up. Let's see. Just back to normal view. I think I saw it up there. Yep, that's it right there. There's our reservoir that I'm looking for. Lake Wilhelm's right there. There was a time I was getting ready to take ground school to become a private pilot, and unfortunately the Army intervened and offered me PLDC, which at that time was a junior leadership course. And to progress my career, I kind of took that and never did get back to flying again. I shouldn't say flying, piloting again. Later on, after Alaska, I joined my first medevac unit and was flying as a medical evacuation crew member for another 10 years. So aviation is awesome. I love it. Love looking down on all this. And we're still flying up. Boy, let's trim down more. There we go. Let's see if we can get it down to 0 here. I don't want to go too high because I'm going to want to get lower as we get to the lake. I want to get as fairly close as I can so we can see the house. One more notch. Come on, you can do it. VSI, go down there. All right, what we can do also is drop ourselves a little bit of gas, and there we go. Now we're going to get down. Hopefully not too fast. We'll see here. It'll droop for a bit and then it'll come back up. As I go downward, I'll pick up speed, which actually kind of makes me go upward again, and then kind of levels itself off. But you can see the reservoir directly ahead of us there. And as you can see, my portion of Pennsylvania was pretty darn flat. When you get further east of where I'm out there, you start getting into the Pocono Mountains and it starts getting crazy. But, all right, I'm going to grab the controls here. We're going to do a little bit of zipping over to reservoir and then dump some altitude. There we go. Nice, easy control touches, nothing crazy. Let's go inside and see what happens here. It's nice and quiet inside with headphones on. I have it set on where it would sound like if you actually have headphones on, you know, to talk to where you can hear the. Let's try this. Let's minimize you, since we've got that in sight. What do we have? Now I've got flight following going already. That's Youngstown Center or Youngstown Approach. Okay, no, that's all we want. We'll put the map back up again because it's cheating and it's easy. No. I'm still learning. Just in the last few days, I've finally gotten to the point where I can trim this thing and fly it level and descend it controlled and make it go up controlled, make my turns, hit the approach. And that's a lot. I mean, even in this easier setting, it's not easy. So, not the easiest. All right, let's go outside. There we go. As you can see, there's bridges over top of here, but the biggest one is coming up. It's further down here. It's actually the Interstate 79 that goes from Pittsburgh all the way up to Erie, Pennsylvania. Will be one of the crosses. I think this is the one I'm heading for right now. Should be the interstate. And then we'll head south and follow the highway, or follow the reservoir. I'm running at about 2,500 feet. I could probably trim myself up one more and kind of level off. Aircraft trim is an amazing thing. It makes life so much easier. And it doesn't seem to be helping. What I can do is give it just a little more burst of gas. And that should bring our VSR, or the VSI up a bit. Yep, that's the interstate right there. You can see the interstate crossing those two bridges. Whoops, I'm pointing. Those two bridges down in the south there, right, just passing over. And then we've got another bridge that crosses here. So we're going to make a turn and start heading down the reservoir. There's a spot right there where there's boating slips where you can actually put in your boat and fish. This lake itself was filled in. It's literally, like I said, it's a reservoir. It was filled in over top of a couple farms that was there, and you know, as you'll see, the dam is way further down there, and it basically filled in this entire valley that went up here. And as you can see, most of the rest of the didn't have a whole lot of valley. Most of the rest of it was the river valley that it filled up. So, or I should say the creek valley now, because everything below the dam now is fairly small. All right, we'll level back out again. I want to be able to fly over the dam, which is important. And actually, what I need to do too, let's drop down and dump some altitude. I want to be about 1,500 feet when I fly over everything. And we can actually get rid of this until we decide to do our approach back to Greenville again. Good old Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania farm country. All right, we're at 1,200 feet. That's probably about time I want to gas it up. And we should be able to get back up level again. And you can see what I'm going here. That's what it looks like from inside the aircraft. I can do this and get myself a little better view. I can watch my VSI. Notice that my variable right below the altimeter there is starting to go down. And the dam is coming up here directly to our right front. All right. And let's give it just a notch of trim again. See if we can get our VSI leveled out. Every time you turn, you end up losing a little altitude anyway, unless you can actually pull back on the stick. And I'm just being lazy and letting it do my altitude adjustments. And I'm going to go outside again so we get a good view. So right up here where it narrows, you'll see the dam. It's an earthen dam, not huge. But it's been kept up for quite a few years. Go. And I'm back up level again. Maybe just a little more boost of so I don't like slowly go into the trees. All right, so as we get this way, my little town of Sandy Lake, Pennsylvania is coming up. There should be a bridge coming up in front of us here, and that will make a hard right turn because I live on the left side of our picture here. There we go. And you see the bridge right there, doing my wingtip, and I will start to pull up and hang right, and follow this road, which is basically what they call Mill Street. Oops, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. No, that's it right there. And I'm going to stall out because I'm flying this like a fighter jet. All right, let's level off. We'll go back around again. Stop it. A bit more air. All right. Let's go east for a bit and we can come back over it. Oh, I'm going to end up stalling. Whoosh. Up, 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 up. Thank you. All right. Right underneath my ship, right then, when I said that, is where my house I grew up in. Apparently it is much bigger than I remember because it never had two wings. It never had an L. It was actually a straight ranch style. Here's Sandy Lake, Pennsylvania. Not exactly real super accurate because it's not exactly an important place. Usually the big city stuff is what it is. Oh, Mike, come on. There we go. Flying it like I'm flying War Thunder. That is not the way to fly this game. Alright, so this is actually, I think this morning I thought it was the high school. It's actually the middle school. This is where my dad ended up his career, and right up here is where the this is actually right below me now is actually a cemetery where my parents and my brother. Oh, not good, not good, not good. Oh, I just made it. Okay. There's a grade school. Now, looking at this, stop it, Mike. There we go. This non-building here, but you can actually see the rooftop on the ground, is my high school. Kind of weird. It didn't replicate the building, it just replicated the rooftop on the ground. All right, anyway. Now that we've got done running around like a jet fighter here, let's get in control again, Mike. I was a little more controlled this morning, but this time I'm getting used to it. So this lake right here is actually Sandy Lake, even though the little town right next to it, which is a sister town of us in Sandy Lake, is Stoneboro. Incorrect heading indicator. All right, let me get a D on there. There we go. All right, so let's get it controlled flight again. This is Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, and over this lake, this is the lake I learned to swim in. Right there where those docks are coming out. There's actually a little bigger. No, there's a house there. That's fine. Some private person bought the area, and they are actually living there on their own house. All right, let's. Whoops, I gotta trim again. Let's see if I can get up. I want to land here. Oh, Mikey, there we go. So let's get back to stable flight. I am going, I want to go roughly north, so we'll continue this. Alright, so once I get this level, dang it, man. Gives a little bit of gas. Wow. There we go. See if we can level it out here. There's the reservoir again. I gotta let the VSI settle down here because I just trimmed the heck out of it. It'll wobble up and down for a little while until the plane gets stable. I'm in a porpoise, as they say. Alright, I need to turn a little back throttle, not throttle, back yield here, so I don't lose too much altitude. Look at that, I'm starting to level out anyway. Alright, level out. Let's see what we got here. We got a little bit of up altitude in my VSI, that's good. Drop it one notch and see what that does. And now, now that I'm finally done with that, let's get up here. Let's go to that. Nearest airport, Greenville should be in there. Grove City now. Back. There's Greenville Muni, finally. Alright, select the runway from landing. I want to run on 3-3. That's where I took off. It should still be in the wind.
4 Golf 1 traffic, Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee 14 miles east, 2,200 feet inbound to land runway tree.
There we go. And there's my approach entry. That's it. I'm using one of the small, or one of the easier settings here, where I've got a lot of assistance while I'm learning how to fly. And the approach entry is one of them. Now I'm at 1,200 feet. Actually, I'm going up. I'm almost 2,400 feet. Holy crap. I need to do a little drop because it is it. Oh, it's at 2,100 feet. That'll work. I want to get right into that first big wide red gate there. That gives me a approach. There we go. Let us notch one there. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That one notch brought me up quite a bit. I want to stay fairly level, so I'll just let her settle. Let's go over a little bit.
4 Golf 1 traffic, Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee 12 miles east, 2,600 feet inbound to land runway tree.
And if you haven't noticed by now, my registration on my aircraft is Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee, MaddMikey. And let's see, yeah, let me go over just a little more. I want to get, not parallel to that, but I want to be able to get a good view and then tango into it. Let's go, let's tap that a little bit, level out. Excellent. So I'm at not quite 3,000 feet. Now I can dump altitude, or add speed and dump altitude. You just point your nose down. But I actually need to kick it back just a little less. Excuse me. That should start us descending in a slow descent. Alright. There's Still Meadow Farm, which is basically a dirt strip. Other than that, there isn't a whole lot real close. I picked Greenville because of the reservoir. It was easy to catch the reservoir and find my way around to get home. So. Alright, so we're still kind of leveling out here, but it seems to be about... There we go. That's what we're looking for. And I'm at 3,000 feet, so I'm going to have to dump some altitude for it. But we've got air traffic control there. You know, I've been flying this from the outside. It's actually pretty quiet inside the aircraft when you have your headphones on. I mean, it's probably a little louder than that, I would think. I have flown in a Cessna before as just a passenger, but looking down here, here's our altitude. We're almost at 3,000 feet. VSI is just going up a little bit. We're at wings are level. We're at the right altitude, and we're running at about 80 knots. So that's good for a start. Here, I'll start popping in my flaps here when we start into the approach. And you can see right here that little blinking light. That's the marker beacon for that airport. So, yeah, the graphics in this thing are just astounding. This is basic stuff. Flying over the non-heavy duty area. When you get into New York, if you get into Los Angeles, Texas, that areas, there's a lot more stuff to see, and it is much more accurate. It's pretty cool. I'm living in Wisconsin. I flew down the Mississippi River this morning, matter of fact, and flew into weather because I was using real weather, and the storms are coming through. So I tried landing at a place south of here on the Mississippi and ended up flipping my ship over. So all right, let us drop a little more gas. It should give us a little downward approach here. Nope. I try, the VSI doesn't show up immediately after you do it. It doesn't, what you did doesn't show up. Your ship has to settle a little bit, so. All right, we're gonna get down one more. There we go. And then as I get into there, I'm gonna have to start putting in flaps so I get slower and slower as we get into the approach. 290, that's good. I'll turn right into you see the approach path right here. They make it kind of obvious, huh? I'm gonna have to start heading that way here in a little bit. And I'm going to kick a notch of flaps. Notice how when I put my flaps in, my aircraft pops up all of a sudden. That's because it's got much more lift. And that's only one notch, so it should settle down here. It's slowing us down, therefore the airspeed's going and our altitude's dropping just a little. It'll kind of go up and down again until it stabilizes. I'm at 3,000 feet, but I do want to drop a lot more. All right, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's dump altitude here. Oh, it's at 21 something, so I've got about 1,000 feet to drop. And then I should be in the groove, as I say. Now, I am not flying ILS. I am using this basically as it's kind of an ILS approach, but it is basically a easy thing to make us learn how to do our approaches. My problem is I always sent my approach too low, where I end up landing almost before I get to the runway. I need to think about landing halfway down the runway. That way when I dump my altitude here, I'm actually on the runway instead of almost not quite to the runway. Alright, I'm going to slow down a little bit on this. I'll let us settle down a bit so we can get in the groove. One more notch flaps. There we go. Still red, which means I'm probably still too fast, but that's okay. I can slow myself down. I'm going to be facing, you know, going down in a slope the entire way to the airport, so I will trim that a bit down. There we go. I'll slow that down just a bit.
1 traffic Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee is on final runway tree to land.
There we go. And directly in front of us is the runway, and 33 goes straight in, so still listing me as too fast. I can actually go up a bit. That should help dump some. I should be dumping some speed here. Yep, I am. All right. I've tried this from inside the cockpit without these instruments on the outside and getting a wide view, and I haven't done very well. I'm trying to get used to approach pass. Once I do that, oh, there we go, they turn blue, which means I'm going not too fast, not too slow. Ooh, my airspeed's going down there. Under 40, yep, I just stalled, see that? That's alright. We'll pop back up here real quick and level off. Yeah, under 40 knots, yeah, this thing drops out of the sky. So we're going to do one more thing. We're going to dump our last bit of flaps onto there. That'll give us the float we need. But that's about, actually need a little more gas too. Watching my, why are you dumping? Alright, fine. That last bit of flaps really did slow me down quite a bit. There we go. I'm going to keep it at about between 40 and 60 right there. There we go. Okay. Tells me whether I've got all the good. My co-pilot helps me out here. And this yoke, being brand new, is a bit tight and wobbly. So you notice it's not. I'm not trimmed right now. I'm actually using my pull back and go forward to keep me in the altitude. That's good. I'm just a little bit above 40, 45 knots or so. That should be lovely for me to land. Let's see if I can do this without either planting it on the damn runway or bouncing once, which I've been doing in the future, or in the past. Alright, sorry, I'm focusing on many things here. VS size down to 500 feet per minute. We're running about 50 knots, that's good. I want to try to set it up to land right in the middle of the runway, not at the very end of the runway, which is what I've been doing up until now. So let's give it a little bit of oomph here. There we go. Alright, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Oh, I just barely made it. Oh, look at that. Let's get rid of that. I start wiggling my, hitting my toe brakes. See my tail pop up a little bit. I don't want to do too much toe brakes, so it'll flip me right on my nose. And I've got my engine at idle. I want to use my pedals to start steering. Ooh, slow down, Bubba. I'm going to miss my taxiway. Alright. Give it a little gas. And I'm going to use my toe brakes like you do in a tank there. That and my... There we go. I have to use both the toe brakes and my pedals to kind of slow down one side and make a turn.
Traffic, Cessna Mike, Delta Mike, Kilo Yankee
Clear the
is
runway.
clear of the runway.
Alright, slow down, Mike.
Golf
Slow
1
down,
traffic,
slow down.
Cessna Mike, Delta Mike, Kilo Yankee is clear of the runway.
Don't run into the gas truck. That would not be a good thing. There we go. I actually stopped this because I was using both toe brakes here. I gotta find a spot on the damn tarmac. Alright, right there's where he wants. He's actually waiting on me. I don't have very much throttling, so it's going to take a bit. The hardest part of this damn flight is just taxiing around to get to it. There we go. Let's bring it up here. Stop. Both brakes, thank you. Alright, let's go inside. We'll get our parking brake. They're actually refueling him. There's my parking brake. Thank you very much. Let's get rid of my yoke so I can see what I'm doing. 1, 2, and off. And there's my engine. Awesome. And then, pop, 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 pop. There we go. Battery off. And there we are. Another one for my flight log. Yay! I landed and didn't crash. What a good deal. But as you can see, and that was in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, you know, with a little town or whatever. As I get better here, I'm going to go to New York, Philly, LA, Florida, who knows, all over you can go overseas, you can go literally anywhere around the world. So it is pretty awesome. And I appreciate you guys for coming by and checking this game out with me. It's not even a game. Everybody says it's not a game, it's a simulator. That's very true. It is a simulator, but it is fun, especially if you're into this like I am. So thanks for coming by. This is MaddMikey telling you, hey, thanks for coming by. And I said that already. So I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I'm so wired with this game. So thanks for coming by, and we'll catch you later.